If you think you've seen this movie before, it's because you have, except the second time will be even more nerve-wracking. Yes, world, get ready for Biden versus Trump 2. Thus, a potential takeaway from the scandal embroiling Donald Trump over his alleged hoarding of secret government documents almost 2 years after losing re-election to Joe Biden. If Trump was previously considered like to announce a 2024 comeback bid, one school of thought is that the FBI search of his Florida's estate, allowing Trump to depict himself as a martyr, makes that decision almost certain. I believe he was gonna run before. I'm stronger in my belief now, said Republican Senator Lindsey Graham on Fox News. If Trump does run, goes the theory, then Biden surely does too. Despite being the oldest man ever in the job at 79, Biden sees it as his historic mission to rid the United States of Trump. And so, after serving the tense, at times nightmarish 2020 election, Americans may do it all over again. This time, it would be in reverse. The incumbent, a by then 81-year-old Biden, and the challenger, a 70-year-old Trump. Given Trump's constant lies that he won the 2020 election and searing evidence of his role in stoking the violent January 6 assault on Congress, a rematch would be ugly. If you think Trump's 2016 and 2020 campaigns were nasty, you ain't seen nothing, said American University history professor Alan Lichtman, a leading authority on U.S. presidential elections. To practitioners of the dark political arts, the FBI raid on Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort is a game-changing moment that, ironically, could benefit either side. For Biden, the logic is obvious. The biggest name in the Republican Party is on the ropes, facing not only the FBI probe, but the legal cases linked to allegations of everything from subverting the election to fraud and rape. That's embarrassing for Republicans and energizing for Biden's Democrats, who increasingly dream of avoiding a predicted wipeout or even scoring their own surprise victory in November midterm elections to decide control of Congress. Trump is like a steroid boost for Democrats, Jim Kessler at the Democratic think tank Third Way told The Hill. As the Republican supporting Wall Street Journal editorial board says, Republicans, quote, should be making the midterms a referendum on Mr. Biden's first 2 years. Democrats would prefer to talk until November, really until the end of time, about Mr. Trump. Yet Trump will also benefit. Once again, he's dominating the national psyche, while his fervent base has a new conspiracy theory to feed off, lighting up right-wing social media with calls to arms and threats of a civil war 2.0. Quote, Donald Trump has more than $100 million in his political war chest, but he has something even more valuable, an active FBI investigation against him, wrote Richard Lowry, editor of the conservative magazine National Review. Quote, it has put him front and center again. It has made it easy for him to portray himself as an embattled victim. In a Republican primary, Trump's political footprint would likely crush the strongest rivals. Quote, if Trump wants it at this point, I don't see how it's not his. Republican political strategist John Thomas told Politico, quote, it'll be a coronation. And Trump getting in would also essentially trigger Biden's decision to follow, scratching any thoughts he may privately have at stepping aside for a younger figure before 2024. Quote, Trump is the critical first mover in whether or not there is a rematch, said Lara Brown, director of the Graduate School of Political Management at George Washington University. Quote, I do believe that President Biden is waiting to see if Trump declares, and if he does, I believe that he will also declare very quickly after. Voters may not want either man. A July poll by News Nation or Decision Desk HQ, around 60% said Biden shouldn't run in 2024 and 57% said the same of Trump. Biden backs himself against Trump. Quote, in the next election, I'd be very fortunate if I had the same man running against me, Biden said in March. While it's been a difficult year for Biden, the last couple months have seen him turn his presidency around, racking up remarkable legislative and policy successes. And although Biden remains deeply unpopular, with approval ratings around 40%, the improved record in the White House and widespread anger at the Supreme Court's overturning of national abortion rights leave advisors optimistic. So while Republicans get lost in Trump dramas, Democrats will focus on kitchen table issues, and aide said. Quote, "This is about meeting people where they live and the things that matter most in their lives," the aide said, speaking on condition of anonymity. Quote, "There'll be a lot of things that will be in the news, but we are going to speak to people in their lives."